What's up, kings, queens, gods, and goddesses? Listen, welcome back to another episode of Conversations with Court. And as Black History Month, I want to just talk about an experience that I had not too long ago where I was able to do behind-the-scenes photo shoot for Shakira Hunt's creative studio. And we were working on one of her clients' projects, Evernet Wines, and I just want to say how gracious I was for that experience and how much it actually touched me. Not only because her last name, her wine is Evernet and my last name is Everett, so it was already a connection there for me, and I knew that time that that's where I was supposed to be, and I was learning something from that experience, right? So we were talking, and she was doing her content, and she was saying how her grandma Lily, no, that's not her grandma's name. Lissy, sorry, my grandmother's name is Lily. Her grandmother's name is Lissy. Yes, Lissy. I swear to God, if she catches this, if she listens to this, I'm so sorry, but I swear. You know what? Actually, I'm not even going to disrespect her grandmother like that. I'm going to go to her Instagram page and look it up because it is important that I do this, because I swear to you, her grandmother's name is Lissy. And I know I'm not tripping. Lissy. There we go. Lissy. Ha. There we are. So if you see this, I want you to follow Evernet Wines on Instagram and make sure you buy some of her products, because it is a Black-owned business. And that's what I'm going to promote for Black History Month. Okay, anyway, sorry, I got really excited. So, nonetheless, as she was talking about her grandmother, Lissy, and she was telling us about the traits that her grandmother had and that are still instilled in her today. And she was saying how her grandmother used to make wine, right? And her sister is a baker, and her grandma used to bake. So it's just ironic how our ancestors and our grandparents instilled things in us that we didn't necessarily think or realize until we got older, right? So for me, my grandmother was a big community person, and she had a lot of love for people, and people took care of her, and just like a big family person. She was a Renaissance woman, and I used to think that my grandmother was a chef and was the cook in the family, but I didn't realize until recently that it was actually my grandfather who cooked and opened the bar, right? And then when I used to always go to my grandmother's house, she was always cooking in the basement. She had her little hair salon. She was just living out her life, and didn't necessarily work. She didn't even drive, right? So when I was listening to her story, and she was just saying like she used to watch her grandmother make wine and how that was a pleasure for her, and now look at her making those dreams come true, turning it into a business. Even then, our ancestors and our grandparents, they did things that they didn't necessarily to make into a business. They do it out of pure love. And it just made me realize that they were just living out their lives. They was just doing whatever made them happy. And when she was talking about her wine and what she envisions for her company, her name is V, Miss V. She was saying what she envisioned for her company. She wants it to be in every household where you're having dinner, and that's just you can see the pure love in her face. And it was just remarkable, and it just made me think, like, what do you really are passionate about, Courtney? What do you love to do? And I love to talk to people. I love to motivate people. I love just to give people what they need within that moment. And it made me think, like, even now, live out your wildest dreams. Do whatever really makes you happy. That's your business first. And it's not ever too late. It is never too late to start your business. If you ain't do it at 30, do it at 40. If you ain't do it at 40, do it at 41. Just keep going. It's going to make it. As long as you put your pure intentions into it in pure love, you can't go wrong. How can you? Because you're doing it from the heart. You're sharing a piece of you and sharing it with the world. That is beautiful. So she was just talking, and she was just sharing her experiences as a child. It was just remarkable because everything is instilled in us, whether we realize it or don't realize it. So what I learned from my grandmother was just love. That's all you have to do, just love. And everything will come back to you. And with that, my grandmother and grandfather had two bars. And how my grandfather got started was because, from what my aunt said, I'm not a historian now. So what my aunt was telling me was that my grandfather traveled to Philadelphia, and he was working, and he was cool with the Italians and the Jews, and he would cook, and they were like, you should open a bar. And grandfather wasn't thinking about it, he was just doing favors for people and working and trying to make a living for his family. So he ended up sending for my grandmother. They opened up two bars called Dolly's, and that's where it got started. My grandfather and my grandmother were entrepreneurs. In the 1940s, they got married 1940s, so 1960s. My dad was born in 1969. No, dad was born in 1962. My mom was born in 1969. And they had a black-owned business, a bar at that. And here I am, just worried about, working for somebody I don't want to work for and not making my dreams. And here they did in the 1960s in Philadelphia, a black bar. That is historical in my eyes. You can't beat that. Do we have the bar today? No. But the fact is, my grandparents made that happen. Who would have thought they would have been able to do that, to achieve that? And it's ironic because, and it's a blessing because when I go to Philly and I mention Jolly's, I let everybody like, I know what Jolly's is. I used to go there all the time. Like, it just makes me happy to carry the last name as an Everett. And I'm getting a little emotional because I love who I am, and I love my heritage, and I love where I've come from. And it's so instilled in me, the strength and perseverance that my grandparents had. And all of us may have something that our grandparents gave to us that we may not know. And when you find that, sometimes you be like, that makes sense. That makes sense on why I'm so courageous and why I don't have a I don't give a fuck attitude, right? Because that's how my grandmother was. My grandfather, he was very big on the women getting education, right? So he brought his sister up here to get an education. And it just dawned on me, like, here I am in school getting my master's, about to graduate with my master's, because my grandfather instilled in my parents, hey, they need to get educated, right? And I'm doing it. I am literally my grandparents' wildest dream, and I carry that in my heart because I know that they will be so proud of me. Black History Month is just makes you think about the past and makes you think about what your ancestors, your grandparents, your great-grandparents have went through to get you here, to get you to see that you can do anything, and whatever they went through, they persevered through, whether you know it or not, because they had one of the hardest times. That my grandparents, racism, just think, a black-owned bar in North Philly. That wasn't not only just supported by the black community, it was also supported by other cultures as well. The Italians, what? I used to be like, what was my grandfather, a mobster? Listen, because he used to have like a stretch limo out in the front. Even though they lived in the hood, I did not know the power that they had in the community. It was like a hidden gem. I didn't know. I just seen them as, just my grandparents. But as I got older and I started to understand the foundation that they had laid for their family, it made me look at things totally different. And listen to people talk about their heritage and their grandparents, and how their grandparents used to do plant gardens, and their grandparents used to sing to them. And many of them become music artists because of that. Many of them become gardeners or farmers because it was instilled in them. Not out of, oh, you have to do that, but it was instilled in them with love. So not only is it something that they now love to do, it is something that they want to share with other people. I know somebody that makes, I call her the hood doctor, right? Because she can make medicine, natural medicines. And I remember her telling me at one point, like, that's what she loves to do. And I truly believe that's probably stemmed from one of her ancestors, one of her great grandparents that she may or may not know, because she's so good at it. She's so passionate about it. She does it naturally, right? For example, I didn't know that my aunt sis, she was able to trace our lineage and from when we got off the boat. And one of my ancestors' name is Michelle. My middle name is Michelle, right? And they worked on shoes. I can't think of it, but like they worked on shoes and did a lot of things with their hands. You know what my dad does? A lot of stuff with his hands. He'll fix stuff, he'll plant, garden, whatever. That was instilled in him. And people are like, no, but I'm telling you, it comes from our roots. And a lot of us, when we get back to our foundation and our roots, we not only understand our culture, our heritage, where we come from, we also understand a part of us. I didn't know why, I didn't understand why, for example, I didn't understand why I felt connection to cowboys, right? And horses and the Western days. And I never understood that until my dad explained to me, like, I used to be a cowboy. I'm like, Dad, no, you didn't. He said, yes, I did. You know the movie with Idris Elba? And he said, he was like, I used to hang out at that same barn, the horse stable. So I was like, ain't no way, until I talked to my aunt sis, and she said, yeah, my dad would not stay out of there, even though he was allergic, and he used to hang out there. And I'm just like, wow, because I think that's so dope. I think that's beautiful. Everything is connected, and this month, since it's Black History Month, I'm connecting more to my roots. I'm trying to understand who I am as a person and where I see my life going, and the impact I'm going to leave on society, and the impact that I'm going to leave on my children, and what I'm going to instill in them. Because my gift to the world is just talking and healing. That's what I love to do. I love to pour out my love into other people in whatever way that they may need. That's literally my gift. And it's so beautiful. And I want everybody to encourage everybody to find their gift. Find what truly makes them happy. Connect back to your roots. Connect back to your foundation. Understand your past so you can understand your future, and see your future and see where you want to go. Life is beautiful. Life is really beautiful. And if you made it through this long podcast, congratulations. Happy Black History Month.